What is the highlight of your teaching career?
So far, Brookville. In Brookville?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my second year here. I took a bunch of ninth graders to Washington, D.C. on like an overnight, well, it was an overnight trip, like 24 hours of craziness. Came back on Friday. It was great. It was a great time.
In this class, in this this school?
This school. The kids who just graduated, like Claire Haynes' class.
Oh, that's cool. All right, thank you.
I'm gonna have to say, getting to know all the students and then seeing them out in public after they grow up, making awesome citizens.
It happened this year. 2 times in the parking lot after school, got to change tires. I'm going for 10 this year. That's my goal.
Well, I'd have to say that it comes from a long time ago. When my son graduated college and I was working in Clearfield, he got a long-term sub position that was right across the hall from my office. And his first day of school that he was teaching, he ended up putting his name up on the board, Mr. Barbazzini, and he told the class a little bit about himself, and he said, we're just going to have a day of, first day of school getting acquainted with each other. At that point, he said, does anybody have any questions? And one kid raised their hand and they said, how'd you meet Mrs. Barbazzini? And he said, oh, I met her a long time ago. And then another kid raised their hand. He said, well, did you meet her in college? And he said, no, I met her before that. Another kid raised their hand because they were asking him all kinds of questions. And they said, well, how long have you known Mrs. Barbazzini? And he said, well, I've known her all of my life. And they just kind of looked at him, and one kid said, wait a minute, is that your mom? And he finally had to give it up that I was his mom. But that was kind of the funniest
I would say that the highlight of my teaching career was probably the first time that I got to do the talent show completely on my own. And that's largely just because it was something I got to learn how to do on my own. It gave me good experience in the realm of theater. But it also is something I look forward to then every year and getting to see the awesome talents of our students in this building.
Thank you.
I think the highlight of my career would be working with so many students over the course of time and learning their families and their relationships with their families and so forth, and just getting to know them, watching them thrive and grow from 7th grade to 12th grade. And honestly, so many of them have persevered through a lot of struggles in life. So I think it's been my big highlight of life, of teaching. I still love what I do, so that's the cool part.
I'm Mr. Pete and I have a bucket. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's not just teaching biology, but seeing kids develop as people from like 9th grade to senior year and beyond, and building character and just becoming better people. It does it for me, not just learning bio.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pete.
The highlight has to be when I take my kids to Costa Rica. It's because I can see everything that happens in the classroom. I see it come to fruition down there.
Thank you.
The highlight of my teaching career is having the Marshall children in class, especially Caden.
Is that it?
That's enough.
Oh, it would have to be the knockout game. I mean, almost beat Mr. Boley at the very end, but the privilege that I had to go in there and knock out a few of the students, that was a wonderful day.
I was rooting for you.
Oh, my goodness, thanks a lot. I started to hear the crowd. I got a little nervous, you know what I mean? So it was just nice to have some of the support of the kids.
I lost 20 grand, by the way. So you kind of owe me in debt. I'm sorry.
I'll be in debt to you for life.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Deemer.
Working with Angie Bowser because she made me say that.
Becoming the woodshop teacher.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Lewis.
Highlight of my teaching career is when Kyle Asher in 2019 got to pie me in the face. And then I chased him down across the gym and caught him. Still to this day, Kyle, if you're out there watching this, coming for you.
Thank you.
Teaching television production, of course, because we can do all kinds of cool things with the background that aren't real. It's Hollywood. It's the magic miracle factory. And I don't have to grade a whole lot of papers, and a lot of people think what we do is awesome. So that's why it's a highlight for me.
Thank you, Mr. Remote.
Saved by the Bell.